Well, Flat Earth hippie here. Wanted to say just a few words about buoyancy and density. It's a pretty good way to describe what happens here on our flat realm. Different objects being denser and less dense than others. Kind of got her figured out that we live here on a dielectric plane, pretty much a big magnet with a center and a toroidal field that flows through the center and around the outer edge. And I say instead of buoyancy and density, which adequately describe what we perceive, I say everything is seeking stillness, much the same way as electricity seeks stillness. Where everything, pretty much everything, is electrical in nature. It's why rivers flow down from the mountains to the ocean. They're seeking stillness, and in the ocean they find it. It's why a tree falls. It's why an apple falls off a tree. Everything is seeking stillness. It's why you can go to a pond and drop a piece of wood and a rock next to each other on that pond surface, and the rock, it'll go on down to the bottom where it is still. The wood will float. Much it's found stillness on top of the water because it's where trees grow along the water's edge. It's found its stillness also. Electricity's the same way. It's always going to ground. Uh, Helium balloons, that's why they rise. Helium is up there in the atmoplane, somewhere up there in one of the many layers that constitute the atmoplane, and when the helium balloon gets up to where helium resides, then helium is found stillness also. It might be a oversimplification, but I like simple things. The simple answer is usually the best. I think most people understand buoyancy and density except those indoctrinated into the gravity church, but I like to think of it as everything seeking stillness. I have yet to find anything that doesn't seek stillness. Anyway, that's about all I had to say about it. It's just a thought on how we describe buoyancy and density. Everything seeks stillness, seeks ground, stationary earth, not moving. Yeah, I guess raindrops too. I'm not sure I fully understand why they levitate like they do and become great, huge, heavy clouds. Uh, but once they accumulate into a large enough body of water, then they fall back to ground, also seeking stillness. Nobody has really uh, explained to me quite adequately why water uh, takes that option to levitate. It obviously isn't grounded when it starts to float up into the air and form clouds, not only in steam, uh, hot water. That's a frequency change, and that pretty much explains that for me. The water changes, the water's frequency is changed and it levitates. and goes up, also seeking stillness at that vibration rate. And water not only there's something else going on with frozen water uh, levitating, say, off the back windshield of my car when it's cold and dry and ice forms on the back of the car, and it starts to warm up a little bit before any water can form. Uh, Looks to me like the ice just evaporates, and it's a lot of things, but it's not hot. So there's something else going on there. They say, or one of the explanations is the air is heavier than water, but the air is made up mostly of levitating water, and droplets far too small to see. There's something going on there that isn't fully explained. Uh, anyway, that is no doubt a frequency change too, but I don't see it as being a frequency. It is a frequency change, but not the same frequency change as when steam rises. I don't think. If it is, it's somehow escaped. Uh, it's got to be a different frequency because steam rises because the frequency level of water's been raised by heat. But when ice evaporates, that's something else entirely. But the bottom line is it's seeking stillness, and instead of being ice on the back of the car, it's evaporating, levitating, and and floating upward, seeking stillness until it coalesces with other light particles and maybe a piece of dirt or something or dust or whatever they're spraying with us, and then back down it comes, seeking stillness once again. It's a interesting cycle. Much more to be learned uh, about water. It's an interesting substance that expands when its vibration is raised, and it expands when its vibration is lowered, i.e., freezing. Uh, lot yet to understand about water. It's a magical substance, and without it, we can't do without it. Well, anyway, I probably said enough for this morning, so anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. Thanks for listening.